Okay friends, it is Audrey here. Let's do a walkthrough of my December Daily 2017 album. I'm going to call this my Raw album. I love it, but it's not one of my favorites because this is the first year that I did December Daily. Had always done them in 12 by 12 layouts or my Project Life layouts. This is also the first year that I did a separate album. That was just devoted to one topic, in this case December. So you'll see my style has somewhat stayed the same but somewhat changed. I'm starting to get used to it. In this album you'll see what I'm talking about, but also this year I decided to do this late, so I didn't jump on the release early. So a lot of the products that I have in here are not the most popular products from that year, or from years past, or a mix of different companies or things I've found on Michaels or something. So I really love this album for that purpose, because it goes to show that even if you've missed Ali Edwards' December Daily release or any of the other companies' releases like Coco Daisy's release, you still can make a beautiful album with what you have on hand. So let's start. Alright, so for this year, this is really chunky, this album. It's probably about 3 or 4 inches thick. And last year, and I'll be posting videos of all of my albums, but last year I went to a double album, and this year I'll be doing a double album because I just really love this project. So I started with a opening page. I decorated the cover of my album. I really love how this turned out. I'm not sure if I can remember all of the designers in here, but when I do remember them, I'll let you know. So this I know is Felicity Jane. These were just dots I got from Michaels. This I believe is Ellie's Studio. This is Ali Edwards. And this word love is from Colleen Adara. So then here I did a transparency to open up. This is the word December. I'm probably not gonna, I'm gonna start actually going through this because there's so much to go through and I don't want to make this video years and years, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna lose power. So I'm probably just gonna go through, and if you have any questions or comments, just ask me. So this is my opening page. I ended up making this too short, so I remember I added this. This is from my calendar that year. This is some wrapping paper. This is for my Reason Why page. This is from Colorcast Design. My Reason Why is embossed. It's hard to see, and I drew this popcorn string. I really love doing this type of technique. I need to do this again, actually. This is a patterned paper that I just painted some white paint on it. Okay, so then this page comes from a Charlie Brown Christmas book. I literally just took an old book from a book sale and repurposed it. These are some pages I did before December. I actually did do some foundation pages this year, and I ended up not using them, so I decided that I'm just not a foundation pages girl. Okay, so this is about yoga. This says, for me, yoga is a desire to become a better human being. I found that in a magazine. Sadly, my yoga studio had closed down. So this was kind of a holiday commitment assistance that I was trying to do a lot of yoga that Christmas season. That didn't really work out, but I really love that little Santa photo doing yoga. So that's that. Alright, so this is day one. This was based off one of the product play videos. I think it was a wreath, but I made it into a Christmas tree. Anyway, so this is day one, and this is all about the peppermint mocha from Starbucks. Day two was kind of like a pre-holiday, or like an early holiday, late Thanksgiving celebration, and there's Dennis, his little puppy, and there's my Moses, who's no longer with us. So that's my family. Okay, day three was about putting together, for my niece's 2nd birthday, putting together this little car. So I'm gonna hold this up here. It's hard to see, but I pop dotted it up. Okay, day 4 was tiny little joys around the house, and basically it was Moses and Barley. And I remember this. I really messed up here. If you could see this little blemish, but I just rolled with it. I think this was from, I forget where this was from, but anyway, so I rolled with it and I used some dots and it worked out. Okay, day 5 is a letter to my dog Moses, who was with us for another year. This came from like a paper crafting magazine. This is one of those little tags. This is a full page photo of Moses, and here's the letter to him. Day 6, this is that Charlie Brown book from the beginning that I cut up, and I just put the season of giving over here. And then so day 6 is about this little piece of gratitude, this little terranium ornament that my husband Steve brought home for me that night. So I kind of really liked the Charlie Brown Christmas tree feel of that. Day 7 are just a few of my favorite things, and it was from the year, because this was in August, this picture, so just a few different things from the year. Okay, day 8 is my office Christmas party, and again I cut this out here, and I pop dye it up so it kind of looks like this outside of the party is coming out, and then I put like a label sticker here, and then this is a picture of my husband and I from the party, and then this is part of day 9, and I might have to actually stop and edit out this video because I'm not allowed to share pictures of my niece publicly, and I respect that. So I might actually have to come back and edit this video, so you might not actually be seeing these pieces, but you know what, let me do this now, because this day 10 is actually a story about my my niece's spending time with her during one of the first snowfalls. Okay, so moving on, day 11. Day 11 was about reading. It was about my love for reading, which I really got to get back into. But I'm a part of Book of the Month Club. I still am part of it. And they sent these free stickers. So I actually had kind of set this up, and I wanted... it's a little bit of a different story because I really just wanted a picture of me reading my book, but then Barley photobombed us and started antagonizing Dennis, who sleeps in a crate. So that was kind of a funny story, the way that's set up. This book that I'm reading, I actually cut the jacket off and cut out the back of the jacket for part of the pocket. So this album uses a lot of ephemera, actually. Day 12 is celebrating Hanukkah. We are not Jewish, but I was always raised to celebrate a lot of different holidays and and embrace a lot of different faiths. So I always celebrate Hanukkah during the holiday season during December. So this was our Hanukkah meal. Day 13 is celebrating. It's a letter to my cat Barley. So this is, I did it just like I did with Moses. I did a overlay or transparency with her name, and then a full page photo of her, and then the letter is on the back. Day 14 is just, you'll see it in a second, but it's just basically a few things that I am doing around here, sort of like kind of a day in the life, like reading, celebrating, singing, drinking, loving, making, watching, embracing. Okay, so this quote is from Allie Edwards. I believe this was a one little word quote from that year. I don't think that this was a Christmas quote, or a December daily quote, but I put it in here because I really felt that it went well with this whole kind of mindfulness, sort of like in the moment what I'm doing spread. Okay, day 15 is sort of a nod to winter. And one of the things I noticed here, and I'm going to give a shout out to Precisely Taji here, is that this, again, remember, this was my first album. So one of the things I've noticed with this album is I still remember it and I still love it, but I didn't do as many long stories as I did. And in next year's album in 2018, I went a little bit more in depth. In 2019, I went all out with the story. So just like Taji does, I am going to focus a lot more on the stories because I find, looking back on this, I still really love it, but I would have liked to know, I mean, I remember what happened with this night, but I would like, in 5 years, 10 years from now, am I going to fully remember? So, I would like a little bit more of the story. Another thing I want to point out here, and I'm going to bring this a little bit closer to the camera. I'm not sure if you can really see it on the camera, but this is a 6x8 metallic print from from Persnickety Prints. It's a 6x8 metallic print from Persnickety Prints, and I love it. Love it. I'm so glad I waited and I got this print, and I haven't done it again in the next 2 years of albums, but I think I'm gonna try to do it this year. Okay, so this is just a little nod to winter about Dennis enjoying the cold temps. This is also a picture of the Christmas tree Frappuccino I got. Another thing I did this year, which in this album, which I didn't do in the last album, in the next 2 albums, was I had multiple stories on one day, which is great, but I put this in my project life as well, so I kind of like the idea of limiting it to one story. Again, this is my raw first December daily album. Okay, page 16, or day 16. This is our date day for the month. This is, it's called a Freak Shake. You can see it has like has the cookies and stuff, and I apologize for the noise because I have the best light right now, but they're gardening outside, so but it has cookies and stuff. It was a really great place, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's shut down. But this was my husband and I, we do a date day once a month. This was our date day in December, and these were I think Studio DIY embellishments that I bought kind of late from Ali Edwards. Okay, day 16 is all about making cookies. So if you guys, I don't know if you know this, but I really love to make sugar cookies. So I made these. I love making the art of sugar cookies. I love baking. I don't do it as often as I used to, but this is one of my first loves. So I would make these sugar cookies, these beer cookies, for my husband, who's a professional brewer. I would make these for his work. So this was, day 16 was all about making the cookies. Day 17 was again about making the cookies. Again, here's another thing which I was kind of treating this December daily as like what happened on that day and what pictures were from that day, and not 100% a story a day. So I kind of took a different focus. Again, I like how I did this, but this is more of a kind of December week in the life, sort of with a Christmas theme album. I like it, but I really like how I have developed my style and how I've done it later on. So day 17 is about finishing up these cookies. I was up to like 2:30 in the morning that Saturday morning making these. So finishing up these cookies and resting with the kids here and watching Elf, which is one of my favorite movies. Okay, day 18 is all about the details around the house. So I went through and I took a bunch of pictures of everything. So, and I used the details kit really to put it together, because that was the story kit of right around that time. So this was our tree that year. It's small. It was up high because Dennis was a puppy. This was our Christmas card that year of the three of them. On the back of the Christmas card, I continued the details. So this was the tree in the bedroom, and then this was kind of how the rest of the house was decorated. Okay, so day 19 is about the BarkBox toys that I bought for them. And so what I did was I did a lot of ephemera in this album, and I really kind of like the ephemera, so I saved the tags from the BarkBox toys. And this is like kind of a poster. So I'm going to try to pull this out here. So this is kind of like a poster that comes in the BarkBox, okay? So what I did was I really liked that poster because it's kind of like a New York scene. So on each one I took a picture of the boys, and I put a card and a 3x4 card and a picture on each side of the poster. It's a little delicate. I'm not sure how long it will hold up, but now I've got a video of it. So that's that, and the back is still on the same day is a story of some gifts that my neighbor gave us, and that's a really cute picture of Dennis. And then this was the insert that came in the BarkBox, so I just put that in there. And then this is just another picture. So this was kind of a long day. Alright, so the 20th. So day 20 was all about, oops, sorry, just hit the camera. Day 20 was all about Dennis. So he was 8 months on December 20th, so I did a photo, I did his letter to him on that day. So this is a transparency. I did the same as the other two kids. This is a transparency of him. This is a photo I took of him around that day, or it might have even been on that day. I don't remember exactly, but that's a photo I took of him. I love this photo of him running in the snow. I really do. And then this is his story. So this is a picture of him melting after playing in the snow. I did his story a little bit different because the other two just had a story. His had a 2-page photo. This is a Grinch book, a Dr. Seuss, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas book. This is literally like paper from the book. And I downloaded the Grinch font to write his story. So that's Dennis's letter. Day 21 is about the winter solstice. And so I printed this off of Pinterest, I believe, the winter solstice prayer. And this is, we always have, we have this family tradition where we do, on the solstice, we have a black and white cookie. So this is me, the gift that my dad sent with the black and white cookie, and this, to celebrate the winter solstice. So that is that tag. This here is just a picture of the boys, and again, it's a metallic print from Persnickety Prints. It's hard to see. Maybe you could see it that way. But again, not too much of a story here. Actually, there's no story here. There's no words. It's just a quick tag, piece of ephemera from the gift I got, which, again, I know this, and it's gonna pop up in my other albums, but I kind of wish I had written something here. So, but, you know, so be it. I'm learning my style. Okay, day 22 is celebrating the holidays in my old office. So that's that. And I put in, I gotta skip this actually a little bit. I'm gonna have to cut this part out. I put in my achievements, but I'm gonna have to cut that out. Okay, so this is still also celebrating the holidays in my office. I did put the names of everyone on there, so I will remember that. Day 23 is the wrapping paper, and again, no words with the wrapping, which is fine, again, but I kind of like the words. but that's okay. Okay, so now I might have to cut this out if I can't blur these out, but by the time I got to day 24 and 25, so Christmas, I had gotten, the album was too thick and I did not want to order another album, so I did them all digital. So these are all now digital pages for the most part. So this is just a digital overlay. And so then these are, I forget, oh gosh, I forget whose template this is, but so these are all, I think this is Paisley Press actually. So these are all just digital pages. These are just digital pages of Christmas. And I've now gone to 2-page albums because I don't really like doing digital pages in December Daily. But to each his own. I did some holiday traditions. So in my my mother-in-law's house, I had my husband, we had to be separate for the holidays that year because we were together on Christmas Eve, but we were separate on Christmas Day. I didn't get to see his family that year because our dog Moses was so old and couldn't travel and couldn't be boarded that we felt it would be better and safer for him, for me to stay home with him, and for Steve to go to his family. So I had my husband take pictures of some traditions at his family's house and then my family's house, and then my husband and I were apart, so we texted to each other. So I saved the texts and I put them like in a digital spread here, and I really like this actually, how this came out. And then Christmas morning. So Christmas morning, if I had to cut this out, this is why I'm going over this again, because I'm not allowed to share pictures publicly of my niece. So if I had to cut this out, then, and you're just seeing this part now, I went digital for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day because I was running out of space from this album. Now I'm going to be doing 2 albums, but before, this is what I did. So this is Christmas morning, and this is the 3 kids. So there's Barley looking at the birds, and there's Moses and Dennis. It was really very nice to be able to spend Christmas with Moses. It snowed, so there was a very fresh snow in our complex. I really love how this page came out, and this is actually under when they left. When they left, I took Dennis to the dog park. It was just the 2 of us, and he had such a fun time running around in the snow. And I really love this, our little bundle of holiday joy, a little bundle of joy. I really love that sentiment. I think it's Paisley Press, but I can't remember 100%. So this is Dennis playing in the snow on Christmas Day. This is, we Skyped with my family to do with my husband's side of the family to do our Christmas gifts because I wasn't there. So I took pictures of us Skyping and wrote about it. I got Chinese food for Christmas, so I had my classic Christmas Story Chinese food. These are the kids playing with the presents that they got. This I'm gonna have to Photoshop out. Unless I can't, this was Christmas morning, unless I can't edit this, I'm gonna have to cut this out. So you may or may not see this part. This is my family on Christmas. And then this is the last few pages. So this is Christmas Day, a picture I took later on, and I put some Allie Edwards word art that says Christmas is the day that holds all time together. So then I added a little bit more, and what I had intended to do with this was I wrote a letter to my husband, and he was supposed to write a letter to me, but he never did. So this is just basically about us. These are some favorite moments we spent. So we went to see the Star Wars movie at that time, and I forget which one it was that came out then. So we went to see the Star Wars movie in addition to that date day that you saw before. This is a present that he gave me. So I put these in little pockets. This is us celebrating Christmas with our presents with each other. This is us giving each other our presents. This is us on our date day. Oh, The Last Jedi, that was a movie. It was a pretty good movie. So I did that, and then finally to end it, this is a card from Colleen Atara, and I added some, like a sequin pocket, and I added just kind of a little story about that December. So that, my friends, is, this is my December daily from 2017, and I will post in the next few weeks my 2018 and my 2019. Thanks for watching.